There is a game that many of you may be familiar with, a game that has introduced an entire generation to Greek mythology, a game that has created a character so iconic and epic that many people just assume that he must have existed within the Greek pantheon. The story is not much more than your classic revenge and redemption story arc, but its integration of Greek mythology and the creation of a world that brings so many of the gods and monsters that people may have never heard of to life is the main reason that God of War is such a success and why it is loved by millions across the globe. So the protagonist of our story, as we mentioned earlier, is of course Kratos, a fierce Spartan warrior who began to rise in the ranks as the youngest captain in the Spartan army. That was until he faced the ever-growing barbarian threat in the east. But there was nothing that Kratos valued more than victory, so much so that he would be willing to sacrifice everything, including his own soul. In that moment, Kratos' desperate call to Ares was the only means of victory, but it was a decision that would haunt Kratos for the rest of his existence. Kratos was given weapons forged in the depths of Hades, the Blades of Chaos, and they would be seared into his skin, an ever-present reminder of the oath that he had taken. When he eventually looked down at his final two victims, they were his wife and child. He would have to kill the god that once saved his life. He was the first mortal to defeat a god. Unfortunately for the Spartan, his journey did not end there, as he was saved by Athena, who then tells him that with Ares gone, he must assume the throne and the role of the new god of war. With this final blow, Kratos has now defeated all of the gods and titans, bringing an end to the Greek pantheon.